I'm here at Brighton SEO and I'm going to ask people if SEO conferences are worth attending.
So are SEO conferences worth going to?
Yes, of course. Here you see the concentrated knowledge of different people, so you can find the best solution talking with people in person.
Are SEO conferences worth going to?
Absolutely, especially if you're a newbie in the industry. I think if someone's in their first year or so in SEO or marketing, coming to a conference like this gets you like loads of insights into knowledge, bespoke, soaking in all different talks. So really great if you're new. And if you've been in the industry for a while, I think it's good for the networking side as well as the knowledge from the talks.
So I haven't been for a few years with lockdown and things, but actually our whole team came. So we made it a bit of a team get out of the office. Yeah. We've all got different experiences, different areas. Some people PPC, some people technical. But it's just a really good opportunity to get away from the office and just see what's going on out in the world. So yes, very, very useful for us.
First SEO conference. Okay, where are you from originally?
California.
What has been your favorite thing about this conference so far?
So far, the connections, meeting the people. I had a cool training yesterday. I got here early.
Nice.
I would say that so far. Yeah. Meeting guys like you, that's pretty cool too.
Cool, I like him.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about networking at conferences and how it's one of the best things. Do you have any tips for introverts, so people who have a hard time walking up to someone, sparking a conversation, to actually network at a conference?
Wow, that's a great question. I would honestly say go to one of the kiosks. Usually the people working at the kiosk will make the icebreaker for you, and maybe that'll kind of get your social wheel turning.
Yeah, for sure.
But outside of that, I mean, you just got to put yourself out there.
Yeah. I think that's important.
I would say that's pretty good.
Cool.
That's it.
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to give anybody just starting out in SEO a top 3 list of things to do, what would you tell them to do and why?
Watch our SEO course for beginners. Great start, you'll learn how to do it, and then stop consuming content, and then just go and implement everything, and even if it's not perfect at first, just keep trying. You're much better at me than doing this, though. You can take over.
Let's do it. This is Hrefs and Chris Alta, episode 001. We're going to find out if people think SEO conferences are worth it. Let's go. Hi, what's your name? Hey, if you were someone brand new attending an SEO conference, what are the top 3 things you think you would recommend to someone to kind of either get them to meet new people or get their learning started, or just to have a better overall experience?
I'd say as far as like introductory stuff, learn about all of the different tools first and foremost, right? Like there are so many tools that will offer you some type of insightful data in the SEO world. If you have just kind of a rule book of your top 10 tools that you can lean on and communities within those tools, right? Ahrefs is a great example. Your guys' team is always learning how to innovate. Patrick and the team is always kind of learning on what's new, what's the most valuable data set that can integrate into what we do every day. That's a great starting point for anyone new to the world.
Awesome. And so how do you answer when somebody says, hey, what do you do?
Oh, man.
Do they ask you to fix their computer?
Yeah, I think my mom still thinks I work for Google to this day. She's like, you work at Google, right? That's what you do? And I'm like, well, it's a little different.
Appreciate it, brother. Thanks. Cheers. So if you had to give anybody any pointers on having a great experience for their first time at an SEO conference, what would you tell them?
Have an open mind and make sure you choose something that you don't know about.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Hrefs, episode 0001, signing off.
Do you find that you get the most value from the talks or from like one-on-one conversations that you have with people?
50-50 basically. The talks open the big points, and afterwards I can go in depth by doing one-on-ones.
Do you think that SEO conferences are worth attending?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So what do you like about them?
It's good to have like such a wide variety of things that you can like learn more about that maybe aren't your particular niche, or just like having a lot of variety that you can like pick and choose what you want to go and learn about.
The conference is a place where you go and meet people whom you respect and whom you follow. So this is certainly, everyone should think of going to conferences like this, not just for meeting people, but also to learn from the experts in real time.
If you had to choose between just going to the talks or the networking, which one would you say is more valuable for you?
I'm actually here to learn, of course, from experts like you. And also, if I have very specific questions for them, I would like to meet them in person in a networking event and just ask them a few things that could help me, get more clarity. So yeah.
I think it's great because it can serve loads of different purposes for people. So there's people who are going to either want to go to talks to learn, improve their knowledge. Then there's also people who want to connect with the community. Then you've got some people who just want to network, help build relationships and nurture them. And all of that stuff you can do at conferences, especially ones that are offline, where you can really see people face to face, have conversations like we're having, and that's the sort of stuff that I think people really value in the stuff you can do at conferences.
I think it's a really good way of both getting inspiration and also learning completely new things. And then it's also, of course, about meeting new people, asking interesting questions and getting asked some interesting questions as well, building new contacts for the future. So yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there's an aspect of how often. So I think going to once every while is good. So getting new ideas and inputs on things I'm working on and new ways to see things is the most useful.
A lot of SEOs that I know are very introverted, and so I'm wondering if you have any tips for introverts to network at conferences.
If you've got something that interests you, that's a good point to kick off conversation, isn't it? You've both worked on something, you've got a bit of a connection, and you haven't got that kind of dating type situation. yeah. Oh, we both do that. Yeah. So I think it's a very good opportunity to meet, even if you're not the most extroverted people.
Do a bit of work before you get here. So if you jump onto Twitter or something and put a shout out like, would anyone like to meet up when we're at #BrightonSEO? You'll probably have a few people that reply, and you can arrange in advance like a meet-up for when you get there. That's actually my first ever conference. That's exactly what I did. I met one girl and we hung out throughout the conference from interacting before on Twitter. A second thing is, like you said, there are a lot of introverts, but if you are approached, like, you'll be happy. Like, people will be happy to talk if you just take that first step and say hello.
I think most people here, introverted or not, are interested in getting to talk about topics that interest them. I don't know about you, but when I talk to my girlfriend about SEO, she tends to lose her focus after a little while. But here you have a bunch of people that are interested to talk about this minute after minute, hour after hour.
I would just say that I'm also an introverted guy, so just take the first step. Please go to the events, don't stay back. I guess you can find a companion who can come with you so that it makes it a bit easier for you. But please go to these events, try to make the first effort, meet and talk to someone, and eventually you'll get past to that.
Absolutely. I think social media is one of the greatest things you can do, because you can, in advance, sort of plan out your time. You can ask people who are going, you can reach out to people directly. And I think the SEO community on the whole is very welcoming. It's very, a lot of people have their DMs open. You can send people emails, reach out on LinkedIn, say, hey, I love what you do. Let's meet up at the conference. And all the people who I've spoken to, I've been able to make friends, meet up with people, and it has felt like a very welcoming and nice and warm experience.
So a lot of SEOs are introverted. Do you have any tips for them when they go to an SEO conference and how they can, I guess, get the value out of the one-to-one conversations that they'll have there?
If you ask me, I ask you.
I think you should just go and talk to people, because people are generally friendlier than you might think, or than their online personas may seem. And so people are generally willing to answer questions, talk, generally humble, and also willing to learn. And so I think these are it's a safe place for people to come and ask questions and to not have to worry about, I guess, looking unintelligent or anything like that. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, thank you.